That was quite weird as well as an opener. Hello. It's Mylar Melodies here at Gear4music Synths Tech with Tom from Source, and today we have a bit of a Mavis clinic because we've got the Moog Mavis and we've got the grandmother and some other toys. And in this video, the idea is going to be, if you have a Moog Mavis and a semi-modular, like, what can you do? What can you add and expand? By the way, subscribe if you'd like more videos of this nature. Don't forget to subscribe, of course. But what we were hearing there just quickly was like a synth within a synth. That was synthception, recursive mooging, where like the output of the Mavis is going into the external. Oof.
That's a sound.
That is a sound just then. Wow. The Mavis is going into the grandmother, making its whole own sound, and then that's getting mushed through the filters, and to it we're adding the oscillators from the grandmother.
Reassuring spring.
To reassuring. So like, if I turn this modulator.
Modulation.
So that's the Mavis, and then when it goes through the like, you know, the like into the filter and stuff, it just and then like, so what you're hearing there is double PWM. That's being PWM, and then this is PWMing itself, and to it we add more PWM from this oscillator.
So that's at two different rates.
Yeah.
So
there's the LFO here is modulating the two oscillators, and then the Mavis is being modulated. Just this whole thing mushes together into this glorious Moog porridge. It goes through the filter,
delicious Moog
which is
porridge.
what I have for breakfast every day. Yeah, wow. And then sync. Which synchronizes one oscillator to the other, and that just sounds wild all by itself. And there was a thing we did just before we like rolled cameras, where I was like, oh, you know, doing this where you
want the machine to do that.
Yes, I do. So you could go envelope from the Mavis into the pitch in. And it's going to be a bit different, but sort of.
Oh, better.
Wow.
We didn't do that earlier.
That is weird, yeah.
Yeah.
Mad. Because we've got another envelope. So there's an envelope that is acting on the grandmother, but we'd be all out of envelope if we did not have a Mavis to go with. Flipping heck. The grandmother sounds really good. And I'm like, that's a truth that is true.
Sounds better with another Moog inside it.
Do you know what I mean? It's like recursive Moog. So that was like a starting point, which has led us to a very grimy and wonderful place.
Yeah.
So what is the first sort of like super Mavis-y thing that we should try? Something that the Mavis can do that the grandmother can't?
Well, wavefolding. So a core component of the Mavis's sort of sound signature is wavefolding. It's the first Moog with a wavefolder. So I thought it'd be good to take the triangle wave from the grandmother and wavefold it and apply some CV control to it. So Mavis doesn't have a triangle or a sine. Grandmother does, so I thought that'd be a good thing.
Obviously,
to try
you can use the LFO. Yada yada.
Yeah, of course. So you can track the key track the LFO.
I take your point, because also then it leaves the LFO free to do other things.
It leaves it to be an LFO.
Yeah,
of course.
Let LFO be LFOs. I've just taken the wave out from the oscillator, but where do I put it, sir?
Mixer input 1.
Okay, so this is quite weird. I mean, it's a weird thing. So you go input 1, called 1, yeah.
Yep, and then you want to take your modulator, which is this LFO here.
The LFO.
Into input 2.
Yeah, that seems like complete madness to me.
And then
fine.
Out of the mixer into the wave folder.
By the way, to quantify out of the mixer into the folder.
Yes.
So because the reason that seems madness is we're blending together an LFO, not an audio rate thing, with audio rate things.
Yes,
in the mixer, and then we're smashing it into the wave folder.
Because it's a gain-based optical wave folder, so it has a specific tonality, and it reacts a certain way to gain. So obviously, to increase the gain of it or the headroom of it, you can apply a DC offset.
I think I remember, like, you can actually see the light behind the panel.
Yes, you can.
So then, is that it, or is that? So that's output 2. Oh. No, because we didn't go back in. So,
yes.
So we go output from the VCA.
Yes, output from Mavis back in.
Should go into the synth. That feels
I did wonder why we had a spare cable.
I mean, it seems like an important step. Whoa.
Now you've got... Just to prove that it was doing it. So you'll notice the wavefold doesn't open all the way up. You can add a little bit more to the wavefolder. Yeah, sounds cool.
Instant drum and bass.
Yeah. And of course you can add oscillator 1 back in, which won't be wavefolded. So it's giving you very low.
Oh, wow. We'll tune it up.
So it's giving you 2 very distinct oscillator tones at that point. Mega glide.
Wait, no, that's what I want. Down. Oh. I always forget the right keys to press on that thing. Which one is it? I want to go down an octave. That's it. It just sounds like absurd. And that's wavefolding.
So that's additive with subtractive, which is obviously sort of like a core fundamental of Mavis, but obviously you've got more filter modes in here that you don't have in the Mavis.
Yeah.
Almost feels like you need to send that sample and hold out into the filter.
It's like you read my mind. That's what the mult is for.
Yes.
So let's mult it. And then go cut off in.
Yeah.
And then we also need to go back into the thing. It was into 2. Get it right.
Yeah. Yeah, that sounds awesome.
It's not connected. Yeah, I mean, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, it's super cool. It's super cool. So
found it, mate. It's like a Wavefold Moog.
Well, don't forget as well. So now you've got that oscillator coming out. You've got access to all of the other synthesis controls within Mavis. So if you wanted to filter this oscillator separate to that oscillator, you can.
You've got a filter of it.
So obviously with Grandmother, you've got the 3 filter modes. You've got the high pass and you've got like the different key tracking as well. So you can create like sort of like mega sweeps and stuff that's traditionally low pass or something that's traditionally not. So yeah, you can do quite a lot of cool stuff just by integrating it as a sort of external sound source. But yeah, the Wavefolding is really cool. Yeah.
So that's sort of tonalities you can't get any other way.
Might be worth trying to fold the entire output.
And why not? But then, will it feed back?
Yes.
Yes. Snarling.
So if you put those both to triangles and then give them a quick fold. Oh. It's making my skull resonate.
Yeah.
That's great.
Ooh.
And this is just
That's it.
oh,
Whoa.
back into farts.
Yes. Yes, indeed. Let's get these little Jolly Ranchers wrong. There we go.
There you go. Yeah,
I think that's almost right.
that's the one you wanted. That is correct.
Wow.
So
next?
so wavefolding's really cool. It seems like a really obvious thing to do, but just using it as a third oscillator with an inherent little trick that I'm going to show you.
Okay.
So
Trick out this chaos.
if you strip all that out, leave in the big orange one.
How you tell me?
Yeah, leave.
I took out the big orange one. I'm so sorry. Are you trying to go from like the out back into
to the noise input. So by going into that noise input, you're replacing the noise.
Yeah.
So that's now
So
going to
now
become.
we've got Mavis. Grandmother.
That's correct. Yeah. So it may require a slight tuning alteration.
So you should tune from like oscillator 1 because it doesn't have this frequency offset, which makes life easier. So that's middle C.
Close enough for jazz.
Almost. Hang on. Glide off.
Beautiful.
Oh, look at that. Consummate tiny knob twiddler.
So the cool thing is, if you set off an ARP real quick, just any ARP. So just
so
put it in ARP and then
oh,
you put it in play
push,
and then
play and hold. The rate's quite high.
So now you've got Mavis responding to the ARP.
That's nice, isn't it?
I like that sound. We should try modulating the frequency of oscillator 2 with an LFO maybe.
Yeah.
So
This one?
Yep. Because you've got that set to sync, so it should give you some wow.
Oh, yeah. Oh, that's so crackers.
So again, that frees up your modulation oscillator for other duties. So.
I was thinking it'd be nice to have a bit of stair steps filter.
That's cool. Squiffy.
That's well squiffy.
Yeah, I like
Quite
it.
Interesting squiffy.
Because you've got two modulation sources there that are unquantized, and that's the sort of stuff that I would personally take a couple of bars of, cut it out, drop it into a
Find
song.
a good bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just like, it's meant to be just like coming up with weird ideas that you wouldn't come up with on a piano roll, right? And
Yeah.
just like, that sounds cool. Record it,
But
chop it
yeah,
up.
using the Mavis as an external oscillator that you can quantize up, so I tend to use it as a bass oscillator. So I'll have like an arpeggio going on like the grandmother, and then play some bass parts in the same key.
Yeah.
It's quite a cool thing to do. You just interrogate my notes for the next idea, Alex?
I mean, it's kind of all or nothing. If we can reach, oh, that's so just reached, is to use the attenuator to control how much. I mean, you do have an attenuator on here as well.
Yep.
It's worth saying, but it's nice to have multiple.
I mean, a lot of thought goes into the utilities in both of these. There's definitely someone that's spent too much time with modular has gone, I really need an attenuator.
Max Rabbits, yeah. It's like the whole idea of the Mavis is that it doesn't double up on things that you already have. Well, I mean, yeah, it's nice to have multiple mixers and attenuators, though, those are. Because if we hear there, it's making such an extreme change to the sync. That's when attenuators come into their own. Rein it in.
And yeah, like you say, there is one in Mavis as well, which you can address completely independently of the rest of the synth itself. So if you have got a good purple cable,
I rescued one and then another one escaped. What's next?
So I was going to suggest
Pied Piper of synthesis.
We key track the LFO in that.
Yes. Okay.
And bring it in as an external.
Out here. That sounds like we need to use them multiple, doesn't we?
Yes.
Don't we?
Yes.
Don't
so
we?
Key track the Mavis and key track the LFO.
Yeah. Okay. Got you. That is using the KB pitch out that this is generating to move the LFO up and down. Where's the LFO in, Tom?
LFO rate, it's called.
Yeah, it was hidden behind the little orange cable.
So you'll need to.
So now you can see that when I play high, the LFO is going quicker, and when you play down, it's going lower.
So you're going to need to run the audio back in.
Okay.
So you're going to need another cable, my bob.
Yeah, that goes in there. Should we replace noise again?
Yes.
Yeah.
And then you should have a really low noise. So you will need to tune it up again compared to oscillator 1.
So I think I'm hearing this is Mavis.
Yes. So you're using the LFO, remember?
I am using the LFO.
Yes.
Yes.
We're going to.
Good.
Yes.
And where shall I put it, sir?
I think we should replace oscillator 2, maybe.
Oh, so you can audio rate the LFO?
Yeah.
Oh, goodness gracious. Gravy and whiskers. I absolutely get what you're coming for here.
For those that have got a 1 oscillator semi-modular synth, for example, you've got an extra 2 oscillators in Mavis, potentially. So you could make a 1 oscillator synth, a 3 oscillator synth, or a 2 oscillator synth, 4 oscillators.
So that's the LFO from Mavis. What if you can change its shape, right?
Yeah, wave shaping. Triangle to square. Yeah.
Nice. That's a nice thing by itself. Yeah. And then we've got this other one, which is the main
folded. Yeah.
Folded.
Should be. Oh no, we haven't engaged the folder. Sorry, apologies.
It does sound kind of gnarly in a foldy way. I mean, I could audio rate modulate it with that. So you could do like audio rate FM using the LFO to modulate that pitch.
Yes.
That's what that is. That's like FMing using the LFO to FM, the oscillator, and then feeding both of those things in here, and then you can blend it with
grandmother.
The grandmothers. Yeah, crackers. And actually, like, I feel like if you had another mixer, there's an oscillator that's gone missing here. You could mix it in and.
Well, the other thing is you could, if you were really ingenuic, you could use. We're not going to do it, by the way, but you could apply the negative 5 volt to that and put that into kind of sub audio rates. So you've got the plus 5, minus 5. You can make it into an LFO.
Oh yeah. Because you're supplying,
and then you've got an LFO with loads of waveforms.
Oh, that's really cool, yeah.
And that you can sync as well.
Because it's like on some modular stuff where, there's a certain amount of range to the knob, but you can push it beyond if you feed DC offsets.
Yeah. So there is a plus 5, minus 5.
This one is minus 5 by default. So if you went out from 1, it would knock that down in pitch.
Yes.
I mean, I feel like that's not that crazy a thing.
With the length of cable we have.
Look.
Oh, it made it.
It made it. So then if I use the output, that's the output, and then go into. There you go.
Yeah.
So that's oscillated to as an LFO being pushed down by that. So suddenly it becomes an LFO at that point.
So those are the kind of things you can do with modular synths, like you say, you can push stuff beyond its the limits of the knob.
Everything's
that
very
sounds like
unsynced.
synced. Oh no, is that going to work?
Well, it's going to try and go at audio rates. Isn't it? Well, it'll reset. It'll be a reset, won't it? No, but it would happen way too fast.
Yeah. But that means, so the LFO in Mavis only has 2 waveforms. This has 3 with PWM as well.
It's like, it's crackers. It's all very unsynced and strange, but that's like the whole...
that's kind of like the joy of it.
It has to be. Yes, you can't. Some of these things you can kind of synchronize, but it is about embracing these happy accidents and just letting them.
Because we're doing all of this. We're doing all of this, but we've not even touched on the fact that Mavis is a voice in its own right. We've only sort of like used the wavefolder.
We did at the start, I suppose, briefly, but yeah. I know what you mean. It's like we're just using it as a utility.
Yeah. So you could. Oh, what was that noise? Was that just you hitting the spring reverb?
That's me doing like the sort of Hans Zimmer sound. Like, start of the trailer.
I love it.
In a world. Well, they don't do that anymore. They like a trailer would have to have like very sad like piano music and like they're playing the same theme from before, and then it would go. Okay.
So the other thing I was going to try, it's wavefolding again, but it's just because I'm really curious. Can we wavefold the filter? So obviously a low-pass filter of this design will self-oscillate.
Yes.
As a sine wave.
Yes.
And we don't have a sine wave available.
Well, you do.
Well, we're about to make one.
Yes.
So you're going to want to key track that as well, aren't you? So you're going to need to... multiply.
Well, it's in here.
Oh yeah, 1-to-1. Duh. Sorry.
Is it 1-to-1 or 1-to-2 is like double like the...
Well, we're going to find out, aren't we?
We're going to find out. So let's remember
Mix in 1. Use these shorter cables because that's what they're for.
And then go out from 1 and 2 into fold in.
Yes.
And
then the output of Mavis back into the...
And it has to kind of go into the past the filter, doesn't it? That cable's too short, sir. Do you have a longer cable?
I regret to inform you, you do.
Yes, you do regret to inform me that I do.
So we need to... And then if
cool. I mean, just like that itself. There's loads of reverb, but... the dolphin music opens you to create.
Can we wavefold that?
So I was just enjoying making... That is wavefold.
It was wavefolding. So can we then send a DC offset to mix with that quick?
Yeah.
Just to see what that sounds like?
Defo.
I'm glad that folds quite nicely. I'm going to try that one again.
Well, it's a sine wave, isn't it?
Yeah.
You'd hope, wouldn't you? Ooh, we've turned our birdie into a helicopter.
Are we sending a cut-off amount? That's very...
Whoa. That's not the sound I expected to come out, but I like it.
That was what I was expecting.
You were looking for more of a like, wow, Hans Zimmer again. Like, sorry.
Oh. So can we add? Oh, do you know it'd be really nice if you sent in one of the oscillators as an FM source. That would be really cool as well. So
like a filter or something?
Yeah, so chuck it into the...
Definitely into the attenuator.
Yeah, if I could only just reach.
Just one more cable. Stay on target. Almost there.
So...
Oh, it's our LFO again. Getting more Zimmer.
Oh.
Because then we're FMing the filter, and then we're wavefolding that filter.
Yeah, exactly.
Excellent use of our time.
I concur.
Yes. So, I should just put it on drone mode, right? Although...
Just press the hold key, bro.
But then, like, I think the envelope's pushing the filter. Whoa.
Okay, so wavefolding the filter and FMing it does sound... that sounds really good.
Yeah. This is like VCS3 territory.
Yeah.
Kind of stuff you do on...
Feels like it needs to be a little bit...
Ooh.
There we go.
So that's blending oscillator 2 actually in, as well as using it as a modulator. Very interesting.
Oh,
It got bigger.
Yeah, that's really cool. That's super cool.
I think that just broke my brain. I made sure not... I was like, stop everything you are doing. Allow the sound to happen.
Oh. So also, I mean, we could technically...
Can we just take a moment to appreciate
that was a really good sound.
Let's witness what just happened here. That's amazing.
Right, record. And
Sorry, I wasn't recording, unfortunately.
Oh no!
Oh no! Oh no! Will that do for now, or is there one more thing?
Well, I was just going to say,
just one more.
We've sacrificed the filter there to use it as an oscillator. We could then also run that through the filter in Mavis as well. But I don't think we've got enough cables to do that. But you could feasibly. You've got your sine wave oscillator, it's getting folded, it's feeding back on itself. And then you've got another filter there. So it's worth noting that all the little individual blocks on Mavis are individually accessible.
Yeah, yeah. I think, and I also would encourage people who are like freaked out by modulars and stuff like that. It's like if you were to walk into the room where we just done that, you'd be like, they're very clever. They've made an amazing sound. It's like, we're not. We've just done it bit by bit. And
slowly.
You slowly go, what if I tried that? And now what if I tried that?
It's like a Victoria sponge.
It's a delicious Victoria sponge, which is to say that it's accessible. You just start going, what if? And what if? And then you can just end up in these wonderful places. So I encourage everyone to combine your synthesizers in unintended ways.
Yeah.
Explore the cul-de-sacs of sound.
Yeah.
Tom, thank you so much for allowing me to explore your cul-de-sac. And subscribe if you have not already subscribed. We've done lots of other videos from Tom and myself, talking about synths in a myriad of different ways. We'll link to some below. Obviously links to all the gear and whatnot. But yeah, subscribe. Thanks very much. And we'll see you next time. Bye.
That was a good sound, eh?
Listen to that.